Customers of a Davenport yoga studio with plenty of questions tonight after the studio, covered in spray paint, was shut down, its owner arrested. Green Lotus on 53rd Street completely covered in spray paint. They say the man who owns it did it. They arrested Michael Jones yesterday. He's now charged with first-degree criminal mischief. Police haven't said what may have led Jones to do this. He's currently out on bond. Closed yesterday, no word tonight how quickly classes could all get back to normal.
What do you think after seeing that video? I know there's a lot of controversy that was surrounding it, and a lot of people just jumped to their own conclusions because you were unable to speak on the situation due to lawsuits and court cases pending. But now that all that is cleared up, what would you like to say about it?
It's something I'm so passionate about in my life, and like everything that's happened this past year, what actually was going down. And
I really think that people were misinformed about my true intentions. I've always been an artist, even as a child. I was a graphic design and fine arts major at St. Ambrose University, graduated with honors. Ever since I can remember, I've always been drawing or painting or trying to do something creative with my mind.
If I could let anybody know anything, it's just the type of person I am, why I even started this thing.
So given your background as a graduate from St. Ambrose University as a graphic design and fine arts major, and just looking around and seeing the pictures on the wall in this building, the question that I have to ask, and a lot of people are wondering, did the media get it wrong?
I just had a lot of concepts and ideas that didn't get accomplished because I basically got derailed. I spoke to the landlord the day prior to my arrest, and I explained to him in full detail what my intentions were, what my motives were. I told him that there was going to be stained glass windows put in, and I told him that the glass that was painted on was temporary. I expressed all of that to him. The first thing I painted in that studio with a can of paint were brown bathroom stall doors, and I was going to put carpeting down in the women's and the men's restroom. That was the first thing I painted. They were green and they were finished.
I had another concept where each door in the studio was going to have a different color, so it would be easy to explain which door to go to if you needed to get somewhere. The women's bathroom door was going to be white, the men's bathroom door was going to be black. Studio 1's door was going to be white, Studio 2's door was going to be black. An easy concept to explain which class to go to when classes were being ran simultaneously.
The whole idea behind I'm a Vandal came into play, and I didn't realize how important this little significant detail was.
So the interesting thing about those doors, there was white paint on the women's door, there was black paint on the men's door. I was arrested on April 2nd. Crime scene experts came on April 3rd and again on April 18th. Photos that I had received from my attorney showed 2 black splotches of paint on the white bathroom door from the pictures taken on April 3rd. The pictures taken on April 18th show a completely different spray pattern.
The doors had paint on it that I didn't spray. Those doors were green, and then come the 18th of April, the doors had black spray paint all over in like a misted pattern that looked like an attempt to try to create the sky and clouds that I was actually trying to create on the exterior of the glass.
I'm not going to speculate on who did it, but I will say it was not me.
When you first walked in, I know a lot of people were questioning, well, why did he rip out the ceiling? You know, what was the deal with that? Well, the reason why the ceiling tiles came down were there was water damage because the landlord wouldn't fix the roof. And most people will remember we had buckets of water hanging from the ceiling. You know, when you first walked in, there was going to be nothing but sky and cloud tiled panels when you looked up, and it was going to be brightly lit. But no matter what was going on outside, it was always going to be sunshine on the inside. Whenever you walked in Green Lotus, it was always going to be shining bright. It was always going to be beautiful blue sky. You know, I just wanted a place where people could lay their burdens down and a place where people could be happy. I just want people to know this was not vandalism, any way, shape, or form. Regardless of what you heard, regardless of what people said, things are not always as they seem. And to take one piece of a puzzle, one piece of a story, there's a mountain of evidence. And the fact of the matter is, that's done and over with. I'm a firm believer of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's one of the biggest reasons why it just kills me that all I've heard was he's a vandal, when the reality behind the story was my dad came down with prostate cancer. I wanted to do something to build awareness, to get people's attention from the street of my storefront. I wanted to bring in as many people as I could to share the gift of yoga, share my knowledge, to share the love that I have for people, for my message of you can do anything you want to do as long as you put your mind to it, believe in yourself, and do your best. That's always been my message. Had I had an opportunity to finish what I started, I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe that it would have been beautiful and people would have been astonished, because I know what my vision was for it. This is what you saw. This is what you should have seen had I had the chance to complete it. Had I had 2 days' time, it was going to be a depiction of sky and clouds on the glass. I just wanted it to be the best it could possibly be, so that it was a place of sanctuary for people to come. Why would I wreck something that I worked so hard to create? Anything and everything that I've ever done in my life, I always try my hardest. I always strive to do my best. I strive for perfection, to just do my best, plain and simple. I mean, it was just like so many things had happened. You know, I'm dealing with staff members who wanted to be more than staff members with me. For lack of a better term, wanted to be Mrs. Jones. And when I was basically like, it's not that type of party, pump your brakes, this person didn't like that very well, and for whatever reason decided to have meetings with the whole staff without including me and lay out this huge plan of how she was going to take over my business. He's going to go under, he's losing money, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, and if you quit now, I'll pay you a salary, and when he flounders, I'll take over the business. I've already got my LLC paperwork ready. I've already spoken to the landlord. He's already ready to hand it over to me. We're just waiting for him to make a mistake. And I wouldn't have even known about this meeting, except one of my staff members came to me and said, look, this is what's going on, man. I'm just trying to warn you, you need to watch it. And I didn't believe him. I'm like, are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? My sister actually contacted her and was like, you're playing a good game, but I can see right through it. I get a phone call and all I hear is,
unbelievable.
what?
Aaron Howard can go to fucking hell. And anybody that wants to join him can go. I get a text from your sister just now. You know what? I'm so livid right now that he's lucky I don't fucking go to his house. When you have time to talk to me, I'll talk to you. So fuck everybody and all this bullshit.
Wait.
I think this is all just bullshit, and I'm not gonna take the fucking fall for everything.
I was like, what is this about? Trying to give this person an opportunity to explain herself, because she had been caught. I know your plan. You're mad that I didn't go to Disney World with you. You're mad that I don't want to be in a relationship with you. And you're mad that you quit your job and you asked for it back, and I said no. And apparently she got through to some of those folks, because I had some staff members quit. And whether that was the reason or they just had a problem with me, I won't know that answer for sure. But all I know is some quit, some didn't. My investment was huge. I had a 5-year lease. I was committed to this thing. I had the means to correct it. And based on my lease, I should have had 30 days to make any corrections whatsoever if the landlord had a problem with it. I was not granted those 30 days. People need to know why things went the way they did. One of the things that, people were saying I was acting crazy. Well, I was pissed off that day because I got this landlord who I had just had a 30-minute conversation with sitting in my face, lying through his teeth to the police. And then I got this lady sitting across the street, called my sister, called my father, called my brother. Your brother's not right. He's losing his mind. I don't know what's happening with him. You need to get him committed. Just talking. You're sitting across the street and I get a restraining order filed against me.
And I just need to set the record straight. This person claimed that I threatened them and that they feared for their life from me. Filed false police reports, claimed that I threatened to kill them I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's not something that I do. I'm not Dexter or anything like that. You know, I did have some black plastic, but for you Dexter fans out there, I know you're aware he uses clear plastic. But a murderer or abuser, those are things that I am not.
The police were like, this is a civil matter. There's nothing we can do about this. He rents this space. It's his business. If this is a problem between you and the landlord, then you guys can handle this in court. It's interesting how when you listen to the police tape, you'll hear the guy say, I already called the county attorney's office. This is a civil matter. He knows who he needs to call to get this escalated. If he wants to escalate this, he knows who to call to escalate this.
So they're ruling a civil? You want to explain it to the big boss man when he gets here? He's not a danger, clearly not a danger to himself or anyone else. I still think you could make a case. The county attorney says no, right?
But Dan Dolan knows some attorneys down there that he can maybe twist their
That's
arm.
the way I think it's going to happen. He's going to call Mike Wolf, man. Such a bitch.
So apparently that's what happened. So 3 hours later, after they told me I was free to go, I get arrested. The thing that's so ironic about it is one of the police officers was a student of Green Lotus and was there when this whole thing happened. And when I got arrested, this police officer cried and said, this is not right. This is wrong. You could go to jail for 10 years. And I'm just like, wow. I told him that stained glass was going to be installed and that the building would be right back to normal in 2 days' time. I had just spent $3,000 extra on paint, on carpet, on flooring, on sky and cloud ceiling tiles. My intentions were pure. It's water under the bridge. I'm out. People are still practicing yoga in that space. I'm glad that they are. I'm glad that I've been able to be an influence or inspiration to people to want to try something different. I'm all about motivating people. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's the name of the game. So,
I mean, you have inspired people to teach.
and this is one thing that hits home for me. And I don't know if it'll hit home for these people that are involved or anybody else that's involved indirectly. Imagine you have a family or a group of people that you would do anything for, and you get in trouble for something and they just completely turn their back on you. I ain't heard from not one of them people. If we're going to be true yoga practitioners and be good people in this community, in this world, where's the forgiveness? Where is the...
Exactly. I think that part of the story is important. If you meant so much, I think that people would understand that, and it should hit home with them. Look what they did to me, but I'm still striving and I'm still going.
Yeah. It was hurtful for a long time to hear students say, oh, I stole their money, and oh, he did this on purpose, and he's a liar, and all this stuff. I get out of jail a day later, and I get thrown into the psych ward because this person was in my family's ear crying, and then turned around and told my sister, but she was signing this restraining order for what was to come because she knew that she was going to get the business that I worked so hard for. And she knew in her mind's eye that I'd freak out. That's something that I would never do. And if you know me as a person, as an individual, you'd know I'd never put my hands on no woman. I know people that have been beat up. I know a woman that's been beat up for 17 years, punched, kicked, slapped, thrown downstairs, cracked ribs, been stabbed with broken doorknobs and just crazy stuff. Had glasses thrown at them, got scars. Never in a million years would I ever do something like that. She knew
All them lies are gonna catch up.
I get thrown into the psych ward.
I immediately had a vision in my brain of One Who Flew the Cuckoo's Nest. I was Jack Nicholson. I shouldn't have been there.
I went in on Wednesday. Doc saw me, said, hey, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. I don't know why you're here, but there's not another hearing until Monday. So you're going to have to stay here for 48 hours because you were involuntarily committed. So we have the hearing. The doc says there's nothing wrong with this man. He should have never been in here.
In this day and age, this society, if you do something that is out of place with what is the norm, people want to call you crazy. If you have a dream, if you have ambition to do something that is different or something that is unorthodox, or you have a talent that someone else doesn't have, or you have a vision that someone else cannot see, people want to call you crazy. People want to look at you like you're crazy. Now, granted, maybe I should have gotten written documentation that the landlord and I had spoke and that everything was on the up and up and he knew that I was going to put it back to normal. I spoke to the man, told him what my intentions were. If somehow there was some sort of miscommunication and he felt I was trying to deliberately damage his building, that was not the case. So Mr. Landlord, if you're listening, if you're watching this, it was not an attempt to deface your place. It wasn't an attempt to make you look bad. And yes, I thought you were very unfair. And yes, I felt you used some tactics in getting me kicked out. For one, you lied in court and said that I assaulted you. You said that I bumped you with my shoulder and you spun 90 degrees. We were never around each other without the police present. I wasn't arrested for assault. I was arrested 3 hours later after the police told me this was a civil matter for criminal mischief. And I heard the police say that you knew attorneys that you could contact to get this thing escalated. And that's what you did. And you smirked at me in the hearing. And that's okay because, you know, you lied and you got me out and that's all right. I forgive you. You'll have to answer to that someday. Things have a way of coming around full circle. This is not an attempt to badmouth you or the person who made false claims about me. It's just an opportunity for me to set the record straight and to let everyone know what exactly happened and what really was going down.
The reason I got kicked out was because the magistrate felt that I may have scared him.
1-1, what is your emergency? There's a guy out here, he's scaring me. We'll be there to arrest him. What has he done though? No, he's just getting in his car. I mean, but he's scary.
He's on a skateboard. A lot of people had heard that I was skateboarding and I had a samurai sword. I've been a skateboarder since age 8. And I hadn't had one in a long time. My niece had just bought a skateboard and I bought one so that I could teach her my moves. I'm crazy for that. Yeah, I had a samurai sword. I was gonna shoot a scene, gonna do a whole big old thing about the Ninja Turtles, and we were gonna do something on The Walking Dead, and Michonne has a samurai sword. I've always been a martial artist.
This was not an exit strategy for a failing business. The business was actually very successful. I'm just blessed and thankful that I didn't receive a felony to basically string me up and hang me from a tree. One tree is all you need to hang somebody. Thank you, God, for cutting me off that tree. They had that noose around my neck as tight as they could get it. But somehow I got out of it. Somehow I'm doing what I love to do. Somehow I have been able to reopen a studio with basically no startup money. Everything that I used in my studio in Kewanee, Illinois, I didn't spend any money. I had no money. All my money was spent on renovations, trying to make that place the best I could make it. I would have came to Yoga in the Park and explained all of this to you, but with this false report that was filed against me, I wasn't able to tell you my side of the story. You know, I learned a lot and I found out who I could trust and who I couldn't trust. And it was a valuable lesson. I'm just doing my best to create an environment where people can feel safe and practice without judgment. I am so blessed to be able to help people find that, to be a part of that. I didn't have the means to pimp out this studio like I did the one in Davenport. And for those of you who have been to the former location of Green Lotus, which is now called the studio on East 53rd Street, you'll see the hard work and the money that I spent to put into that. But with not a lot of money, here again, I've been sued by the landlord and this new studio owner, and I'm not going to get into that. But I just want to say that I am truly blessed and thankful to each and every one of the students that have graced me with their presence in my new location in Kewanee, Illinois. Kewanee is a small community, much smaller than Davenport, but there are a lot of very eager, talented students that melt my heart every time they come through the door. It's just been a miraculous thing to have everything taken from you and to start again, to live my dream not once but twice. And I always told everybody that I wanted to have more than one location. That was always in my plans. Back in May of 2013, I told everybody that locations, plural, would be revealed shortly. I planned to open back up in Davenport, but God told me that I needed to come to Kewanee to be near my family. My mom had just got her knee replaced, and I was so blessed to be able to be in the same town so that I could stop by and help her if she needed help. 5 minutes away is a lot better than 55 minutes away, and I thank God for that. I just want to say that it's been an emotional roller coaster with all the things that have taken place, being accused of things that I didn't do, being lied upon, being thrown in jail, being accused of being insane. I don't take anything for granted. You know, I do have plans and aspirations to bring another studio back to the Quad City area. I don't know how well I'll be received with all of the allegations that have been made about me, but I will say this: several of the students from the Quad City area have come, and yes, their classes have been redeemed. I told everyone from the beginning, if you had yoga classes, that I would honor them. A lot of people asked for refunds, and to be honest with you, I did not have the money. I'm sorry. From all of the things that happened, my livelihood was taken from me. I was sued, not by one, but by two different people. And, you know, both of those people have a lot more money than I do. I'm just a small town boy with a dream, a small town boy that had a dream and a prayer and went with it. I'm thankful and blessed that I had the opportunity to, like I said, not do this once but twice. And Lord willing, I'll be able to do this for a third time, for a fourth time, fifth, sixth time. I want to have studios across the nation. I want to share with people that they can do anything they want to do if they just put their mind to it and believe in themselves. To have faith, to believe in a higher power, to believe that all things are possible to those who believe. That's how my heroes, my parents, Marshall and Diane Jones, raised me to be. And all of this was done in honor of them. And even though I had everything stripped from me, I would do it all over in a heartbeat if it meant honoring my Heavenly Father up above. Because in all reality, that's all it was about. I'm not crazy. I may be an unorthodox guy, I will admit that. And I'm pretty goofy at times, and I like to joke around, but I love people, and I would never, ever, ever in a million years purposely deface something that I put my heart and soul in. When I was going through all of this, and I was in jail, and I was in the hospital, I was unable to control my business. I was unable to stop automatic drafts from coming out. So if that happened to you, I apologize. I will also say this: several of you got refunds by calling my merchant account and asking for a refund, by disputing charges. And some of you, I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are, received above and beyond a refund that was due to you. Some people charged not back just the month that I was closed, but January, February, March, April. Somebody had an annual unlimited and had been using it and charged the whole thing back. I'm not going to take you to small claims court, but shame on you. I really did not have the money to refund you people. I had negative money in my account. I was fighting court cases, and I was just trying to get back on my feet, just trying to keep my head above water. So if there are any students out there that have a bad taste in their mouth about how things went and feel that I owe them money, if you can bear with me, like I said, I plan to have more than one studio. I plan to be back in the Quad City area. I plan to serve Kiwani. I plan to serve the Quad Cities. Right now, my goal is to serve the community that I'm in right now. If you can wait, I'll be back. If you can't wait, you can take a short drive to Kiwani. I'd love to see you. And if that's not good enough for you, I will do my best to set up an agreement with you to pay you back. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen next month. But if you are just so upset about how things happened, give me a call. My number is 309-883-0876. And if you truly have a problem, just call me and we'll work it out. Or stop by the studio and visit. Tell me what you want. I'll do my best to make it a reality. Michael Lamar Jones is no vandal. Michael Lamar Jones is no criminal. I've never stolen anything in my life. Well, let me take that back. I took some bubble gum back in the day when I was a little kid, and I got caught and got in trouble for that. But Marshall Jones sure taught me a lesson. He sure got that belt out for me. I learned my lesson. So I say all that to say this. To all the students that I've ever had the pleasure of teaching, working with, or practicing with, I want to say thank you. I love you. I care about you. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're improving your yoga practice. I hope you're improving your knowledge of yourself and your body. And I hope I see you soon. And I really want to thank each and every one of the students that have taken a chance. And I know you all heard all the drama that was surrounding me before you came, and you've all treated me with the utmost respect. And for those students that knew me before my Kiwani location, that have come down to practice with me, I really want to say thank you also for treating me with the utmost respect, for not judging me and not making me feel less than what I am. And what I am, who I am, is a person with a big heart and a big dream. And I love people. I love everybody. I also want to say thank you, and I want to let, like I said before, I'm not going to mention names, but they know who they are. The people that were really there for me when I needed them most. I really want to thank you for being there for me. I love you, and none of this would have been possible without you, and especially for my parents, Diane and Marshall Jones, whom none of this would be possible without their help and support. I love you so much, and I really appreciate you. For those of you who lied and took advantage of a situation where a young man was trying to honor his father, I forgive you. And congratulations, your scheme worked. You got me out. You got what you wanted. As far as suing me, I'm sorry, you're not going to get anything because I don't have anything. You know, I live very modestly. I don't have a lot of money, and that's not what it's about for me. It's really not. It's about doing what's important. It's about doing what I love to do. And every day that I see someone walk through these doors, I don't care if it's one student or if it's 50 students, it brightens up my day. It lights up my heart. So I hope that you have connected in some way, shape, or form with my story. And I hope that it gives you hope and faith. It's proof that you can do anything you want to do if you just believe in yourself. Like I said before, that's always been my message. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen, to view this. God bless.